Hey everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns, and we're taking a look at the Umarex Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS CO2 Blowback BB pistol. This is the tabletop review, so no shooting in this video. That's a separate video. That'll be in my shooting review, obviously. Called the shooting review. This is called the tabletop review. Some people ask me why I don't shoot it in these videos. I just like to separate them. And this product I checked out at SHOT Show this year in January. I went to the Umarex booth and Mark showed me around these guns. So there's the Glock 19 and the Glock 17. Both of them are the MOS, which stands for Modular Optical System. It allows you to essentially put a red dot on the slide, at the rear of the slide. There's a little plate that comes off. And this particular version actually comes with a bunch of plates. I'll just show you them right now. So you got all these different plates, which is cool for different red dots. I don't know why the other version doesn't come with it, but the plate does come off on the back here. So this plate does come off and you can put a red dot on there. But I think with this plate, you have more options, obviously, with all those different plate adapters. Now, before I get started, I wanted to mention this is available in our Canada and our US Replica Airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. I'll put links in the description. Well, for sure, at least the Canadian link, and sometimes you can just change the URL from .ca to .us and you'll find the US version. It's that simple. This is a licensed replica via Umarex of the Glock 19 MOS 5th Gen 9mm pistol. It is made in Taiwan and it does come in a nice box like this. I'll show you it right now. So you got a few things on here. It tells you your velocity, 280 because it is full blowback. I'll show you that in a bit. Uses 12 grams CO2, Steel BB, right? You've got this MOS sighting system and there's 17 rounds in that full-size dropout metal magazine. Little picture there, extended mag. Basically there's the back of the box. And in the box it does come with a couple Allen keys. So this is for your CO2. This is for the plate, and you've got some additional screws here. Probably if you lose the other ones, you have some additional ones. They are small. You also get your little Glock manual here. And what do you have on here? There's a bit more information there. So yeah, you can check that out. Hopefully we're in focus. I can't really read it. It's hard to read on here, but what does it say? Let me just look over the top here. So yeah, semi-auto, blowback, dropout mag, free magazine, metal slide, rear, whatever that is. Oh, for the MOS system. 280 FPS, 12 grams CO2, Steel BB. Yeah, a lot of it's the same. Anyways, you see what it is. Got some information inside, learning some of the plate, adapter plates there, right? Showing you how to get to them. You've got your safety there. So there's a trigger safety. And not only is there a trigger safety, but there's a trigger safety. So you have a crossbolt one and a trigger safety. I actually didn't notice that when I was looking at it. So that's kind of cool. Glad I read through this. That's how you get at your CO2 there, right? In the magazine. That's how you load your BBs, right? There's your magazine release, your takedown levers, how to field strip it. I'll show you that in a little bit. And I notice on the back here, what is all that all about? Okay, what is that? That's a little plate that comes off. What for? Huh? What does that do? I'm not even sure. See, sometimes it's good to read these things. Reversing the magazine release. Oh, okay, so that's to reverse the magazine release. Cool. So if you want to put it on the other side, you can do that by taking the rear of the pistol grip off and getting to it. I'm not going to do that. I like it on the side that it came on. All right. So anyways, you can, if you buy one of these, you can go through that manual yourself. All right, let's get on with the specifications. It does shoot 4.5mm Steel BBs. It does again use 12 grams CO2. It is a full blowback gun, so I'll show you that when I pull it back. It's full blowback, very similar to what an airsoft gun would be designed like. So you have that airsoft style full blowback action. It weighs in at about 1.5 pounds or 655 grams. The total length is 6.9 inches or 17.5 centimeters. It does have a smooth bore 3.5 inch 9 centimeter metal barrel, and that magazine holds 17 4.5mm Steel BBs. Now this particular one, because it's full blowback and the way the magazine is designed, is single action only, so just like a Glock. That trigger's nice and short and light. It does have a claimed FPS of 280, and the construction is metal up top in the slide area with a polymer frame. Now you do get a fixed front and back sight. So no adjustments there, but they are white dot on the front, and then it has that, not really white dots on the back, but there's that triangular sort of white line around it, and I'll show you that when I show you around the gun. Again, it is Glock licensed through Umarex, but I believe it's made probably in some factory, possibly something like KWC or who knows where in Taiwan. I'm going to quickly compare it to the other gun I'm going to be reviewing this week, and this is the Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS, right? So it's got a removable plate. I imagine you could use the plates from this one on this one, but this one basically just comes with this flat plate, so if you get a red dot of some sort, hopefully it fits on there the way it is. I'm not really sure, but you know, maybe you can buy plates, or maybe the red dot comes with plates. I don't know exactly, but this one doesn't come with all those 4 plates. But this is, you know, very similar, but it is partial blowback. And what I mean by that is if I lock the slide back, you can see one is not like the other. One goes back a lot further and locks back a lot further, and one doesn't. And that's because the Glock 17 has a much different magazine. It's not so much like an airsoft gun, although airsoft guns can use similar style magazines, but they just generally don't. But this one actually pushes the BB into the breech, so when the slide comes back, actually what happens, not entirely correct. So the slide comes back, does its thing, which precocks the hammer. But then when you pull the first part of the trigger, it pushes the BB into the breech, which kind of seals things off. You get higher FPS and way more shots per CO2, at least double, maybe even more than double shots per CO2. So if you want a gun that's going to hit a little harder and get a lot more shots, be more efficient, then you might want something like the Gen 5 Glock 17, okay? The new one from Umarex. Now they have similar older versions, different versions that use similar style magazines and whatnot. You can already get those, but this is their newest one, the Glock 17 Gen 5. All right, so at this point we're gonna do the walk around. We'll take a look at it. So again, you can see that the slide goes all the way back, locks back all the way, slide catch release, boom, real nice and snappy. This is a really nice feeling slide spring, okay? And then again, you have your magazine release on this side, but you can take the rear pistol grip off and get in there and reverse this. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that until I really took a look at it. But here's your magazine, full-size dropout metal magazine. You would pop this, basically you push that in, and then you can slide this butt plate forward, get at the CO2, use the Allen key, and then of course your BBs go in the top here. There's a follower that you would push down, load it up with BBs, right? Pretty common. We'll leave that off to the side. What I do want to check out is this crossbolt safety that I wasn't even aware of. So you do have a crossbolt safety. We'll talk about that right now. Very cool. So it locks it, right? Totally locked, and then unlocked, okay? Very neat. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the left side of the gun. Got your takedown, I call them switches, levers, whatever you want to call them. On these, they're like switches on both sides you need to pull down. You have your slide catch release there. You've got all your Glock licensing, right? Austria, Glock 19, okay? You've got some warning instructions there. So on some of the guns, this little serial number can be the safety, but on this one, it's a crossbolt. So I actually haven't checked out the 17. I'm not sure which way it is there, but we'll get to that when I do the review for that one. Nice textured grip, right? And you do have an ambidextrous slide catch release, so you can make this gun pretty much ambidextrous all the way around by switching this around. Take down lever switch on this side, right? You've got a Picatinny rail up front here. You do have a recessed barrel there, and you can see the little 4.5mm barrel inside, right? So let's quickly just field strip this gun now that the magazine's out. Okay, so you just pull those down, you can get in here, and you can see your barrel area here. I don't believe it has an adjustable hop-up. I'm just kind of looking. No, it doesn't have an adjustable hop-up. So there's probably some sort of a hop-up in there. Otherwise, the BB would roll out the barrel once it goes in there. So there's going to be a little rubber bar inside the barrel there where it's the breech of the barrel that stops the BB from rolling forward. And it will act a little bit like a hop-up. So as the BB passes through or past it, it creates a little bit of backspin. And that's where the hop-up typically is for adjusting that little rubber sort of bar that goes across up or down, which can give it more or less backspin. Okay, so let's put this back on. I'll take a look at that. Right, so typical what you would see, all plastic. This part of the gun's very light, and the slide is much heavier. Sometimes getting these things back in is a little tough. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, so it's on, it's in. We're good, right? Super awesome. All right, so let's get into some of the pros and the cons. It is an ultra realistic replica in looks and function. So if you want something that is as close as possible to the real steel version, including the full blowback, all the controls, the magazine feel and the way it drops out and the way you reload, essentially. Everything's going to be as close as you can get to a real steel gun. So if you want a trainer that you can shoot outside in your backyard, this would totally be it. Other than an airsoft version, which would be maybe a little bit better if you're going to shoot it indoors. Don't want to break windows and such. This product has good weight and feel to it. Its build quality seems to me to be top notch. I've also mentioned it already, but it does have full Glock licensing via Umarex. There was a time when we couldn't really buy or advertise or make videos for Glocks because Glock did not like the fact that other people were making copies of their guns. So I'm so happy that Glock and Umarex teamed up and we now have these products which are fully legal. They're not knockoffs. They're just BB versions of Glocks licensed through Umarex. And as I mentioned already, it has the white dot sight on the front. Didn't really show it off too much. And then it's got this rectangular part on the back. So super easy to line this up on any type of target, light or dark. And again, it has that recessed barrel for added realism. So you got to kind of look close if you want to see that it's not a full-size barrel. You got to kind of look into it to see that smaller 4.5 millimeter barrel that's about a half an inch inside. And you do have an accessory rail under the barrel for adding laser or tactical light, along with that MOS modular optical system on the slide, the rear of the slide, for adding a red dot. And again, this one does come with those 4 adapter plates for different types of red dots, I would imagine. I like the fact that it has a full-size dropout metal magazine that holds the CO2 and the 17 4.5 millimeter steel BBs. And that slide spring feels really snappy and firm. I'd say even firmer than most blowback air guns, even airsoft guns. So it should have a nice heavy recoil blowback feel. Now the warning instructions are fairly discreet. They're just on the underside of that trigger and they're not super bright white. They're just light enough so that you can see them but not stand out terribly. And as I showed you, this product is fully field strippable and has a really nice, similar to a Glock, single action only trigger as the blowback precocks the internal hammer or striker. And you do have that working trigger safety along with the crossbolt safety on the trigger as well. So 2 safeties in one. All right, some cons. The FPS could be a bit higher, but this is generally the case with a full blowback airgun like this. Very similar to Airsoft Full Blowback Airgun. So I'm going to say you're going to get 3 to 4 magazines, 2 really good ones, a 3rd decent one, and maybe a 4th partial one. Another con would be the sights are non-adjustable, which is common with low-cost airguns like this one. I don't see too many of them with adjustable sights. Kind of would be nice if you could slide that rear sight left and right. So at least you had some windage adjustments. That's pretty typical of real steel versions. And again, there's no built-in serial number safety, which I'm used to, but there is a crossbolt safety on the trigger. So there is one there, so that's nice. Again, I wanted to mention this product is available in our Canada and US replica airgun stores, so check out the links in the description. You can also go to replicaairguns.ca and replicaairguns.us, so CA for Canada, US for the US. If you're interested in other products, air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. We also have our replicaairguns.com website where our blog is located, where I put these reviews in text versions with additional photos and sometimes some additional information that maybe I missed out or got wrong in this video. All right, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.